Hey guys, you're watching Chaotic TV. We're bringing you Game 2 of the first round of 12 match from IEM Katowice. In the bottom left of Antigua Shipyard, we have the Blue Zerg, the Little One, playing for Team Liquid. He is TLO.
And spotting across the map from him this time, and the right side of Antigua, this is the red Protoss player from MouseSports. We have MaNa.
MaNa is up 1-0 in this best of 5 series, going again for that Forge Fast Expand that we saw him do in the last game. It actually ended up working out to a very, very powerful +2 attack timing from the Protoss player, and the ultra expanding TLO was unable to hold it off with this pure Zergling Baneling composition he had at about 14 minutes.
It is nice to see something different coming out of him, though, because the standard response from Zerg going to 3 bases is just to die to a 2-base timing attack, I think. I mean, you need a ton of spine crawlers and really good micro and as many roaches as you can possibly get in order to hold, but the Sentry Immortal army is kind of built to punish those roaches, so I like to see something different there, and him trying something different. And like I said, with proper Baneling hits, you can clean that up, but Banelings hitting Immortals is never a good thing, so...
Well, we're seeing MaNa going for a 16 Nexus, at least from his probe count. We can see that he's not moving out to put down a Forge first or a Gateway. So we're going to see him do another safe kind of play we saw in the last game. And he'll probably do another nice wall off here, either from this point right next to the ramp to his pylon, or just purely along the ramp here. And TLO's going again for that spawning pool. I think he'll only take 1 base extra this time. He won't go for an early third unless he's really going for the same kind of play he did last game and hoping that he is able to pull it off. MaNa saving that probe. 1 more hit would have killed it. Sees that the expansion is indeed down, but TLO's Overlord sees that MaNa is putting down his own expansion, the Forge down, and the Nexus down, as well as that second pylon. So things are progressing along the same path as we saw in the last game. Almost oversaturation in MaNa's main base. Really does need that extra pylon to continue his pro production.
Well, now that he's got the gateway up and the cannon, he'll probably start making gases. It's about time to start gathering that for him. We'll see a 3rd base coming down from TLO again. Like I said, just standard response to a fast expand from Protoss, just take a fast 3rd, because there needs more bases than their opponent. A little bit of a pylon block here, but he does have Zerglings to deal with it, so that'll be cancelled before it finishes.
The thing about the 3rd base from a Zerg player is that they are, even though it is a standard response to a Forge Fast Expand, they have so many choices in what to do. They can either try what TLO did in the last game and purely drone all the way up to 70, which is something we saw a number of months ago as the pretty much standard. Zergs only did that, and they didn't do very much else. That's actually probably about 6 months ago. They pretty much only droned up to 68 or 70, and then started their huge roach production. But a lot of Zerg players have switched it back into mutas. They've become kind of in vogue, and MaNa's probe is actually going to see nothing because that queen got it, but he sees that that natural base is up and running, and probably, no, I don't think he's seen the 3rd yet, but he has his own things to do. He's got 3 harvesters in both assimilators, as we saw when I highlighted it a little bit ago, and his own natural mining is getting going.
He does know the 3rd's there because he pylon blocked it and then canceled it before it finished. There was a Zergling and a drone there already, or 2 Zerglings and a drone there, so who knows. At least that he intended to, or I guess in the metagame sense of things, he could have been faking it and then sent his drone back and gone to a 2-base tech route. But 2-base tech routes from Zerg is just, it seems kind of flat. You can never have enough of the essential units. You can get a little bit of the gas, the Infestor or Mutalisk, but you won't have enough units to support them on a 2-base economy. It's just kind of the Achilles heel of Zerg, but they do have ways to deal with pressure up until there, so usually involves a lot of spine crawlers.
We see the Zerg taking his first 2 gases, immediately putting 3 harvesters in each. When he hits 100, we'll see what he does with it. He can either go for that early layer, move into a muta game in the second right after that layer finishes. Or he can, oh, he is going for the layer. He's not going for that early metabolic Zergling speed boost. So he's going to go for something a bit different. He might go for infestors, but he is at least waiting for layer tech to decide what to do. And probably after that layer finishes, he will start using the extractors he's building right now. He's building 3 and 4, and he'll probably drop 5 and 6 in a little bit. But breaking down the back door of MaNa's third base right now, MaNa having no idea, but doesn't really care. He's doing his own thing, building the 6 gates that we saw in the last game, most likely before he starts really chunking out some more units. His Twilight Council's headed down, and he still doesn't have Warp Gate finished, although it is very close to being done, as well as level 1 Forge. And that's probably what that Twilight Council is mostly for, is for the upgrades, but he is dropping a Templar Archives behind it, so his extra 4 gases are going to be used to pump out some, probably Archons.
Yeah, you don't really see Psystorm a lot against Roach play, so unless he really Wow, Suspect. That's weird. Suspect Zerglings, again, like you saw last game, because Psystorm does work really good against Zerglings. But, well, I guess we're going to see here. We do see Zergling speed, Roach speed, a bunch of Roach production here, and some Zerglings. Might be this weird... It's a really high economy layer type push. It's weird to not see Infestors or Spire added into this just yet, but I think he just wants to get a baseline defense out and ready.
Yes, he's going purely Roach. He doesn't need the extra gas 5 and 6. He's pretty much fine with 4 gases, and the only thing that's really sucking up his gas right now is all these upgrades he's doing. Building a macro hatch, which is something he didn't do in the last game, although in the last game the 4th is a lot easier to take than on an Antigua shipyard. It's easier to take on Cloud Kingdom, I should say. And he just needs the extra production for all of these Overlords and Roaches he's got coming out.
You don't especially need macro hatches with 5 working hatches up and running, but in this case I don't expect him to have a 4th base anywhere soon, so that extra production will be necessary.
2 Archons coming out from MaNa right now. He is way behind on the supply count, but on the unit count, he's actually probably not too bad. 21 Roaches and 17 Lings versus 7 Stalkers, and 2 Archons are going to be able to do a serious amount of damage. 4 Pylons coming down from MaNa, and he's going to continue warping in units behind this push.
Archons are so good against Zerg. Zerg really doesn't have a super good answer for them. Just mass Roaches. And here he gets sneaking right by the wall. There's nothing there to block the wall off. And the Sniper X-Core.
And there's a Roach attack at MaNa's main, completely doing a little bit of a transfer here. Taking out a number of probes. All of the probes went back home to the main line and force fielding out, but MaNa's continuing to push forward. All of these Archons are doing some as much damage as they can, doing 43 against Bio, but there are so many Roaches here and some Queens to do a kind of... Oh, he just taps out. MaNa decides that that Roach push got into his main and he wasn't going to be able to stop it, so the cannons at the top of his ramp were unable to finish, and MaNa decides he's going to try his luck in Game 3 of this best of 5. So the series is tied 1-1 between these 2 awesome players, and we're going to bring you Game 3 in just a second. From Chaotic TV, I am KO.
This is Clips.
And we'll see you soon. Cheers.